In life, one of the most difficult things is to know what we truly want and need. We are often confused between what our mind tells us, what society tells us, what others expect from us, and what we deeply feel inside. Many people live their whole life doing things they never truly wanted, chasing goals that were never theirs, and following responsibilities that were forced upon them. This happens because we don't spend enough time watching ourselves. We don't sit silently and ask, "Is this what I really want?" We follow the crowd, we follow patterns, and we keep running without direction. To know what we really want, we must learn to observe the conflict inside us. We say one thing, we do another, and we want something else completely. This contradiction creates confusion, and confusion leads to frustration. For example, a person may say he wants peace, but he keeps watching disturbing news, fighting with people, and thinking negative thoughts. Another person may say she wants to be successful, but she spends hours scrolling on her phone, wasting time in gossip and blaming others for her situation. If we are serious about life, we must learn to watch our actions honestly without lying to ourselves. There is no need to be harsh, but we must be truthful. What we do every day shows what we truly value, not what we say. Real responsibility means being honest with ourselves. It means taking full responsibility for our thoughts, actions, time, and energy. Real responsibility is not something society gives us. It is something we discover within. It is the inner understanding that we are the creators of our life. We cannot blame our parents, our past, our situation, or the world forever. At some point, we must take charge of our direction. If I am lazy, I must not call it fate. If I am addicted to something, I must not hide behind excuses. If I am wasting my life, I must have the courage to see it. Real responsibility is not about pleasing others or living up to their expectations. It is about living from our own understanding. A student who studies only to impress teachers or parents is not being responsible. He is just following pressure. But a student who studies because he wants to grow, learn, and explore, that is real responsibility. The same goes for work. Many people go to their jobs only because they have to. They drag themselves through each day. They feel empty because their work has no meaning for them. But a person who understands his passion and works from joy, even if it's a small job, feels alive. The difference is not in the job, but in the clarity of the person. We also need to see the false responsibilities that have been placed on us. From childhood, we are taught many things we must do, must become, and must follow. Be like this, behave like that, do what is expected. Over time, we carry the burden of these false duties without question. A girl may be told she must get married at a certain age, even if she doesn't want to. A boy may be told he must earn a certain amount to be respected. These are not real responsibilities. These are borrowed beliefs. Real responsibility comes from clarity, not from fear or pressure. When we are clear, we can say no to what is false. We can walk away from things that don't nourish our inner growth. We can leave behind toxic relationships, fake smiles, and useless habits. But to do this, we need courage. The courage to be alone. The courage to be misunderstood. And the courage to trust our own insight. It is easier to follow the crowd, to do what others do, and to stay in comfort. But real freedom comes only when we drop the fear of being different and live with our own truth. Laziness is not just about lying down or doing nothing. Laziness is also mental. When we avoid thinking deeply, when we avoid facing truth, when we avoid action because it may be uncomfortable, that is laziness. A person may look busy but still be lazy inside. He may do many things but avoid the one thing that really matters. For example, someone may clean the house, cook food, watch videos, and talk for hours, but avoid spending 15 minutes in silence to look within. That is inner laziness. Laziness is often a way to escape from responsibility. We know what we must do, but we delay it. We know we need to exercise, study, talk to someone honestly, or stop a harmful habit, but we postpone. I'll do it tomorrow, we say. but tomorrow never comes. To overcome laziness, we must first understand its root. Why are we avoiding? Is it fear? Is it lack of clarity? Is it because we don't see the importance of what we must do? Once we understand the reason, laziness can start to dissolve. Discipline is not something to be forced. It comes naturally when we see clearly. When something becomes deeply important to us, we don't need motivation. For example, if a person understands that his health is truly in danger, he will wake up early and walk. If someone sees that wasting time is stealing her potential, she will start to value each hour. Real transformation happens when we see, not when we are pushed. Knowing what we truly want needs silence. We must learn to be alone without distractions, not running to the phone, not escaping into noise, but simply sitting and watching. In this quietness, we begin to hear our real voice. It may be faint at first, but it is there. Maybe we thought we wanted money, but in silence we realize we want peace. Maybe we thought we wanted fame, but we find we want love. This inner clarity only comes when we stop lying to ourselves. We must stop pretending to be what we are not. Many people are trapped in the image they created. They want to look successful, smart, or spiritual. But inside, they feel lost. This gap between the outer image and the inner truth creates suffering. To be free, we must drop the image. We must be real, even if it feels raw and vulnerable. Only then can we know what we need, not just what we desire out of comparison or ego. There is a big difference between wants and needs. A want is often a mental projection, something we think will make us happy. But a need is something deeper. It touches our soul. For example, I may want a new phone, but I may need silence. I may want appreciation, but I may need self-love. When we chase wants, we are never satisfied. One desire leads to another. But when we fulfill a true need, there is peace. We don't crave more. So, how do we know the difference? By watching the quality of our feelings. If a want creates anxiety, restlessness, or pressure, it is likely not a true need. But if something gives us calmness, lightness, and depth, it is probably a real need. We must become students of our own mind. We must watch the way it tricks us. Sometimes it tells us, if you get this, you'll be happy. But we get it and still feel empty. So we must question our desires. Are they coming from fear, insecurity, or social pressure? Or are they coming from a space of understanding? The more we question, the clearer we become. Real life begins when we stop chasing what others have told us to want and start listening to our own intelligence. We can look at practical life examples. A man who grew up in a poor family may think money is everything. So he works day and night, earns well, buys many things, but inside, he still feels a hunger. He realizes that what he really needed was not wealth, but love, rest, and freedom. Another example. A woman becomes a doctor because her parents wanted it. She follows the path blindly. After 10 years, she feels no joy. Then one day she paints something. She feels alive for the first time. She realizes art is her real need, not medicine. These moments of awakening come when we listen. But for that, we must stop. Stop running. Stop comparing. Stop proving. Just be still. Only in stillness does the truth of our life begin to speak. To live a meaningful life, we must be clear about our priorities. What truly matters to us? If health matters, we must act accordingly. If relationships matter, we must give them time. If growth matters, we must invest in learning. We cannot say one thing and live another. That is hypocrisy, and hypocrisy brings suffering. Alignment between thought, word, and action is the key to a peaceful mind. If I think one thing, speak another, and do something else, I will always feel divided. But when my thoughts are clean, my words are honest, and my actions are right, I feel one with myself. That is the beginning of inner freedom. So let us stop and reflect. What am I doing every day? Is it meaningful? Does it reflect what I really value? Am I living with responsibility or just reacting to life? Am I awake or just repeating patterns? These questions are not for others, they are for us. The answers are already inside, but we must be silent enough, honest enough, and brave enough to look. Life is too precious to be wasted on fake goals and borrowed dreams. Let us return to our inner clarity, drop what is false and live with truth, action, and real joy. That is the way to know what we truly want and need, to carry real responsibility, to let go of fake duties, and to overcome all forms of laziness, not by force, but through understanding.